Budda Baker, no presuming to be done.
Boom.
He reportedly has asked the Cardinals to trade him, and who knows what they'll do. Maybe they'll say they have no intention to trade him. That's always the key. The trade is coming. But are we surprised that veteran members of a team that seems to be rapidly in decline, they started the 2021 season 10-2. Since then, it has been one thing after another, one loss after another, key injury after another. They don't know when Kyler Murray is going to be back. Coaching change that feels, frankly, all due respect to Jonathan Gannon, uninspired. The issues with Michael Bidwell, the allegations against him, just the sense that this organization, I didn't even mention the F-minuses on the NFL.
That's what I mean. I was going to say that too.
Card.
Right.
It's all just falling apart. And I know that it's not universal. Zach Ertz carrying the water for the franchise last week, saying that things are already better, not as if they could be much worse, but it's just indicative of a losing team. And you get these guys that are getting deeper into their career. They see their contemporaries competing for championships. They're passionate about what they do. They want the most out of their careers. They want to build a legacy. And if you're Budda Baker, DeAndre Hopkins, any other veteran player with the Cardinals right now, it's easy for Zach Ertz because he's got his ring.
Right.
For the guys who don't have rings, they're realistic. You look around in Arizona. When can we reasonably expect to be competing for championships? Not in my football lifetime. Right, I'm just part of the foundation they're laying to be good somewhere else.
Right. Well, so you're not even going in your football lifetime. You don't know if they're gonna. Oh, you mean that for them, their perspective? I thought you were talking about you.
I'm talking about them.
I was going, damn, you really have no hope.
Possibly
for them.
not in my
lifetime. You don't
lifetime.
think you're gonna turn it around in the next 20 to 30 years here in Arizona? But yes.
But doesn't it
yes.
feel like the good years over the past 15 have been the aberrations? I felt like it
Definitely.
was a change.
Right.
I felt like the Cardinals were finally adjusting. They just got lucky. They had Kurt Warner, and Kurt Warner caught fire at a time when nobody wanted Kurt Warner. They got lucky.
They got Bruce Arians, who I think added, some
Arians.
juice for a few years, right? They've hit
for a few, and then that petered out.
Right. They've hit jackpot maybe, a few times with a few certain individuals that gave them a little pizzazz or life. But you're right. It's nothing sustainable as an organization. And, yeah, I mean, I understand where Budda Baker's coming from or DeAndre Hopkins. They're in the same boat there. They're looking at it going, wait, totally new regime. Everything's changing. J.J. Watt retired. We traded Chandler Jones the year before that. Byron Murphy Jr., we didn't re-sign him. I mean, what direction is the offense going in? We went all in for the Cliff Kingsbury offense. Are we still running that? I mean, there's so many questions with Arizona, let alone just the roster and the players. And Budda Baker, who's going into, is it year 8 this year? Right? Yeah, to your point. I mean, he's coming down the home stretch. He's a car crash psycho Tasmanian devil safety. That's awesome to watch, but damn, he can't play forever. So he wants to get on, be on a team that's good and be in the big games in late December and January. I get that. So this will be another interesting one, and it's not a very good safety class in the draft, Mike. So I don't think it's planned out. He knows it's not a great safety class. So they're hoping a team that needs one really bad will just get him instead of even thinking about drafting one of these guys.
And, the bottom line, too, is they have a new GM, they have a new head coach, and there have been situations where bad teams make that cultural change and it settles down veteran players that may otherwise want to go somewhere else. I don't think it's a good sign at all that when you bring in a new GM and a new head coach, Budda Baker's not even willing to give it a chance. Get me out of here. I'm done. So there's been nothing communicated to him. Nothing has been said to him. He's seen nothing, heard nothing, felt nothing that makes him think this is going to turn around. And again, all due respect to the new hires they made there, they have to prove it. And I know there's only 32 of these jobs, but one of them necessarily is the worst. And right now it feels like the Cardinals are vying with the Texans as the worst overall football operation in the NFL. And I've got more hope for the Texans at this point, frankly, than I do for the Arizona Cardinals. Because not that the Texans have an abundance of veteran talent, but Laramie Tunsil didn't ask for a trade. He got a new contract and he's staying put. So your veterans in Texas more likely to buy in and stick around and see if they can be part of the solution. In Arizona, like you mentioned, Murphy left for Minnesota via free agency. Hopkins wants out. Baker wants out.
JJ retired.
Feels like it's all crumbling.
Yeah.
And it may just be a matter of time, too, before number one starts making noise about wanting out as well. I'm not saying I haven't heard anything. I don't know anything. He's focused on rehabbing, but I'm just trying to project down the road, new regime, what's going to happen here as he gets more pressure on him and people are more willing to say what he needs to do. He may reach a breaking point and think the only way I'm ever going to be the best player I can be, a guy who had lost 3 total games in high school and college combined. He goes a month now, and if he only loses 3 games, it's a good month in Arizona.
Yeah.
There may be a point where Kyler Murray starts talking about playing somewhere else too. It's unavoidable.
Well, it's just there's a lot of negative with Arizona right now. I think you said it right. That's where it's different than Houston. Houston had a lot of negative for a long time, but they've kind of washed it away, and the D'Amico Ryan hire has refreshed the franchise. That did not happen here with Jonathan Gannon. One, the way the Super Bowl ended and then the lack of answering questions, I think made people a little sour on him coming in the door, to be quite honest, let alone, not his fault here, but what you just brought up, he gets to come in the door and there's a report card that says, hey, the organization sucks, and they're releasing it to the whole public. He gets to take over on that. Oh, great. Yeah, get to take over while everybody's realizing we're the crappiest organization of football. That's awesome. So he's had some things work against him that way, maybe some his own doing, some not. And then, of course, what's gone on with Michael Bidwell and, the whole situation there in the front office, allegedly, and all that stuff. So nothing, they've not been able to grasp any positive vibe there. And I feel bad for Jonathan Gannon in that aspect. And then I think you have a regime that's, Monty Ossenfort and Gannon, where they want to flip things around. They want to change the culture. And some of these older guys are probably like, damn, we're going to have unproven guys and young, and it's going to be this crazy different culture, right? And I'm guessing that's why, a guy like Budda Baker wants out of there. So we'll see, and good luck to him.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.